Can anybody hear me now? Great. Brilliant. I love technology. Hey everybody, how's it going? So, as I have been saying to the very attentive deaf cat for the last 10 minutes, we're going to do two things today. The first one is I'm going to be playing a little bit of Dave the Diver, which you can see in front of you. The second one is there was a lot of interest last week in some writing clinic stuff. So, if that's of use, if you have any stuff you want to talk about that I might be able to help with, let me know, and I'll do what I can. For those of you who have not seen this before, this is Dave the Diver. It is a game which is deceptively simple in premise. You're a diver. Your name's Dave. This is Dave. Say hi, Dave. Swing your cheap Japanese sword about. Your job is twofold. You have to dive and retrieve fish for your friends Cobra and Bancho sushi restaurant, and also aid an ancient undersea civilization as they battle against the environmental damage that is slowly killing them. Also horse races, and farming, and fish raising. Oh, I think the chat would very much appreciate that. Thank you, Darcy. Oh, 1 second. Just gonna murder a shark. Be right with you. I notice he's still alive. This is a problem. I'm taking it personally. Oh god. Oh, Jesus, a lion. This is just rude. Rude. This is rude. You said he's a blue healer? Oh, you're going to have so much fun and not sleep terribly much. This is going to be great. What a fantastic start we're off to. See, there's no way to go but up from here. Dying shortly before you are, like, literally within arm's reach of an O2 barrel, having been murdered by a shark you yourself failed to murder. Cool. I'm so pleased you got the puppy, Darcy. That sounds great. Also, I'm really sorry for every single one of your self-furnishings. It's really simple. I sleep, or I hydrate, or I eat some protein, or I go outside, or I watch a movie. The thing that you have to remember is twofold. Firstly, that your brain is a muscle, and it needs to be worked. And that also means it needs to be nourished. And secondly, that there is what Johnny Sims calls the fascination window. The fascination window is this thing where the idea is all you can think about for a long time, and everything comes really easily, and it stops. Normally runs about a week, for me, maybe 2. And the great thing about the fascination window is that it makes doing the work really fun. And the terrible thing about the fascination window is that the work is never done by the time the window moves. So what you have to do is work out how to maintain the work when it's not shiny. And for that, you've got to make your peace with the fact that it will become work for a while. The fascination window is great. It's like opening a toy. It's like opening a can of Pringles. And it will be fascinating and brilliant, and you can't wait to do it. You get up early in the morning to do this exact thing, and then slowly that'll stop. And you're still got to do the work. So do the work. Work out what you need to do, whether that's make lists, change your state, have a cup of tea, hydrate, anything like that. Work out what you need to do and do that. And discipline is too strong a word. I think focus is probably closer. You got to be all right with the fact that this stuff's going to be a little hard to do from time to time, and that you'll come out the other side and it will be fun again. And yes, I am running from the shark this time. Thank you for noticing. No problem. I have a certain measure of experience with this shit at this point, and what I'm here to pass on. That and apparently punch bits of lead out of ore with a rubber mallet. Just 1 second, I just need to... Oh, gonna get good. Haven't met the kitten yet. Feeding the cat all the time though, so it should be soon. That'll fix you, you tiny shark bastard. I'm a little drowny again. I should go and do something about that. Oh, creative nonfiction is the best. And Darcy, you have a puppy. You don't have to worry about anything else at the moment other than puppy. It's fine. Like I say, folks, if you don't have any questions, it's really not a problem. We'll just hang out and watch poor Dave here be the most competent person in the room or in the sea at all times. Oh, come on, man. Oh, wait, I have oxygen. How'd you polish something and proofread when you don't see anything wrong, but you know something's... that one's really... I was about to say that's really easy. I apologize. Nothing about this is easy, but everything about this is doable with the correct procedure. The procedure for this one's really weird. Read it aloud. And specifically, read it aloud after you've spent a couple of days not working on it. This was a trick. It's busy indulging my million hobbies while also managing a puppy who's hell-bent on eating everything. A long conversation with my therapist about the possibility of there being ADHD while I was making bread the other day. I am never beating those allegations. Yeah, this was a trick my dad used to do when he was a teacher. He loved it. He absolutely loved it because the kid did it and he didn't have to do any of the work. You read it aloud. And if it's been half a year, that's fine. Still, if you haven't done it before, try reading it aloud. Because when you read it aloud, your brain will be forced to look at the words which are on the page, not the words that it thinks are on the page. And you'll spot when there are problems. And if there are problems, you can do something about it. I do it with podcast scripts all the time. Now, I did it earlier today. One of the strange things I found myself doing today is editing 3 other people's work, which is it's a very, very weird thing for me, but a very honorable one. Yeah, I feel very honored that folks asked me to take a look at things. And the most common note I gave 2 of the 3 people was there's one word too many in this line, because I've done podcasting for so fucking long at this point. I instinctively read everything out loud, and when the rhythm of the line is there, you feel it, and when the rhythm of the line isn't there, you feel that too. Ah, I've never caught one of you before. Hooray! Whole lot of mackerel sushi tonight. But yeah, that's one of the things I find myself circling back to pretty regularly. And I always want, I'm engaging a lot at the moment with the distinct possibility that what I've always worried might actually just be me busking it is in fact a hard-won professional lifetime of expertise. And I don't mean that to be flexy. I know it sounds like that. But I was always very aware, how can I put this? Always very aware of the fact that I just do things, and I'm very bad at realizing that I do things, but I also work hard at those things. There's nothing especially instinctive about anything that I do. I just do a lot of it. Oh, thank you very much, Sadasa. I really appreciate that. I just do a lot of it, and when I do a lot of it, when you do a lot of anything, you get better at it. And it's I'm having an interesting experience with therapy at the moment, because the last couple of therapists I've had sucked to the point where I was moderately certain one of them was an artificial intelligence. I was since assured that they weren't, which just means they had bad interpersonal skills, but still. And the therapist I've got at the moment is really good. And one of the things that we've been talking about a lot is whether I treat myself with the same grace as I treat other people. And the answer is a resounding no. And the reason for that's very tedious, very obvious. It's, you know, my familial life could in no way be described as abusive, but it could very clearly be described as neglectful. I don't want to go into details about it because I'm aware it might be triggering for people, and in this instance I might be one of them. But one of the interesting side effects of doing what I do is that a lot of the time, when I first started out, I worked to relax, because I was bad at relaxing, because I decided I was bad at relaxing. And that's changed now. And with it is the realization that I need to accept that I'm actually much better at what I do than I thought I was. That's very strange. And especially being a guy in the UK, and especially being a guy from the very specific part of the UK I'm from. Oh shit, I'm about to drown again. Fuck. Hold on, let me see if I just make it to the surface without dying. It'll be very embarrassing if I don't. And I'm about to die again. I'm much better at this game normally, I swear. No, that sucks, man. That's twice. I think it's even the same barrel. Being in the part of the UK, growing up in the part of the UK I grew up in, this is something that strangely a couple of New Zealand friends I have told me that they can hard relate to. You learn to not kind of stick your head up a little bit too much. I feel that you do treat yourself with the same grace. My therapist, it's fucking tough, right, Bonsai? You get used to just going, well, I just do this thing, and it's okay. And I'm in a space at the moment, a kind of emotional and psychological space where I'm working really hard on accepting that no, I am actually good at things. And the other thing which we're dealing with an awful lot at the moment is a thing of, yeah, it's a huge UK thing. The thing where someone else has an opportunity and you immediately feel bad that you don't. And it's not you feel jealous, it's that you feel bad that you weren't good enough to be picked for that. Even if you didn't ask to be picked for that. Especially if you didn't ask to be picked for that. Brains suck is kind of what I'm saying, really. And I had that with one of the folks I was doing evidence for today. It's one of my old teachers who got really into Doctor Who and decided that he was going to pitch something to the people who do Doctor Who audio dramas, and did. And it looks like they might well have bought it. And he's the second one I do. I do work with from time to time who's done this, and part of my brain is like, hey, I want to do that, and I do. But I also know what the lead time is on those things. And, oh yeah, absolutely, like Johnny. And I know what the lead time is on those things. And I know what the pay is on those things. I will give you an example. There is a podcast creator that some of you will be familiar with. I won't, this isn't tea. I'm not dishing anything. This is something they talked about publicly. But just in case, I won't mention who it is, who talked earlier this week about how they have a Doctor Who audio drama coming out that they wrote in 2018. And it's 2025. I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm writing something that I potentially get paid for and see 7 years later. That sounds nightmarish to me, and it might not be, and it works for a lot of people, but for me, that is not something I would ever feel comfortable doing. And it's been very interesting to find myself on the other side of that particular psychological barrier, because Big Finish and SFX were the two people I really wanted to write for my whole life. I have a child who's only a year older than that. Right? You can make a whole ass person in that time. One with language skills and everything. Yeah, I really wanted to write for these folks for the longest time. I may yet at some point. But there's this very complex thing where you realize that what you're actually doing is yearning is the wrong word, is planning to do something and then not being prepared for... No, I think actually yearning is the right word. It's the kind of, well, if I do this, I'll be fixed. If I do this, I'll be better. That's not it. The work is healing. Doing the work for a specific person isn't healing. Doing the work is healing. The catharsis is in building the thing, is how I find, at any rate. And it's very weird to be at a point where I'm notionally at peace with that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the word Siddhasa. I don't think you're better than others. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. It's the do good work, but don't talk too much about it is the British one. And I get that. And I understand completely why I have it. I have it because I grew up somewhere very small, and I'm not very small. And my talents are such that the place where I grew up was not something I was going to be comfortable living at. I was talking to my dad the other night because it was my mum's birthday, and I knew he wouldn't be doing too well, so I wanted to check in. And he said, when people ask me what my son does, I say everything, I think. And it was very sweet. And at the same time, there was that little thing of, oh, you still don't quite get this, but you're trying, and I really respect that. And I don't know, it's hard to articulate. It feels a little bit like I'm alright with the fact that part of my life was not alright. That I had to spend so much time in a space I didn't quite fit in. Oh yeah, this nice gentleman, by the way, Django, has decided that it's very, very cold here because he's addicted to hot peppers. So we've been growing habanero peppers for him. Thank you. Like I say, I'm always very hinky about this stuff because I don't want to do the kind of, oh, it's so hard being this great. And, everyone has it hard. For those of you who have not played the game before, we now go from, also get the you're trying but missing, I know that's what you're able to understand. Yes! Yeah, that's exactly it. For those of you who have not played the game before, yes, Dave is also a restaurant management simulation. Like, you also have to finance the restaurant and train staff. And this is the training montages. There's Bancho, our samurai chef, levels up his sushi. I'm currently trying to get my Cookster group, which is, for legal reasons, not Instagram, rating all the way up, so I'm trying to enhance my dishes anytime I get the opportunity, which is difficult. It's the one part of the game I'm still kind of struggling with, other than the drowning and the death. Yeah, the fetch stuff's kind of annoying. Let's do all 14. So basically what you do is you get your dishes as good as you can. You train your staff so that they can cook them quickly and effectively. And then you build your menu based on what you caught that day and serve your customers. And it turns into an old school 1980s Spectrum game. It's kind of cool. There you go. Let's open the restaurant. How are we doing on the ad breaks, by the way? No problem, thanks Ducky. And thanks as always to the excellent mods for doing excellent mod work. We couldn't do this without you. I just don't do drink serving anymore, I'm bad at it. Get that money! Does feel like vengeance with the sawfish serving it ice cold, doesn't it? The other thing which I've been kind of having to deal with a little bit recently is, oh, great. Now, Blanco looks remarkably like Samuel L. Jackson. Alright, well, if the ads are in 4 minutes, then I will just kind of vamp, because otherwise Dave will drown. My 8 years old has managed to stay up late by being productive and wanting to do homework. I said I'm tired, she told me it's okay. Amazing. This is one of the coolest things about this game. I love that all the controls are hidden inside Dave's phone. Oh, I like that. So you can do all the stuff like the definitely not for legal reasons Magic the Gathering, but with fish from here, and check the weather. Do I have to make calls right now? I don't think I have to make calls right now. Oh yeah, you get a farm. You get a you can. You get a farm and a fish farm, so you can grow vegetables and hatch chickens. There's a really sweet thing where one of your farm guys is reunited with his kid, who's a rapper who he hasn't talked to in years. This is a weird game, and it's a really very lovely one. And it does this. It has a very I find charming tempo, where it will be one or two mechanics for about an hour, and then it will go, now you do this as well. And it's kind of like the entire game is a learning curve, but it's a gentle one that it's fun to climb. You know, I'm having a good time with this. Oh, cool. Almost done with the starfish. Yeah, this is the fetch quest stuff that Enrich was talking about. There's a lot of additional stuff yet. I've done a couple of them. I've done, or not so much the spy missions yet. I did the one where you're the marine biologist being chased by the pirates, and suddenly it turns into a side-scrolling 1980s boat racing game. That was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and then it just entirely at random goes, here you go, have this. Which, as you can see, I'm not good at. Oh shit, that's why. Amazing. So anyway, that also happens in this game. And I think that should have just about taken us to the ad break. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ducky. Those of you who haven't got up and moved around quite yet, which includes me, please do so. I'm going to set my watch for about 3 minutes, and I will see you when we come back. Okay, if I've done my math right, we're back. Hooray! Alright, so let's see what we've got. There is in fact a Dredge crossover DLC, and there is also a Godzilla one. Oh no, there's Dredge. I've seen the trailer. Oh, that's a shame. How do you know when a thing is done, especially when there is no external deadline, meaning it has to be done? That is a great question, and it is one that is very tough. I got two answers for you. There's the annoying one, and there's the practical one. The annoying one is when you... Yeah, I'll do, like, slightly grim and annoying. When you don't feel anything anymore. This is possibly just a me thing, but I've lost count of the amount of times I've looked at a piece of writing and gone, well, that was hard work, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm slightly dead inside now. Not in a bad way, just in that kind of, I don't actually feel anything about these words anymore. And about 3 or 4 times I've done that, and someone's responded with, this is the best thing you've ever done. I'm like, is it? Okay, good. I'm gonna fucking drown again. One moment. So that's the grim one. The less grim one is when you decide you're happy with it. And I know that's so wishy-washy and impractical. And it's really not meant to be, but let me give you an example. Last year, I did a series of blog essays about the moon that we temporarily gained. Because we got like a little moon for like 3 months last year. And it's on this really eccentric and unusual orbit where it comes back about once every 50 years and it orbits the planet for about a month. And this was at the end of all the quite bad stuff that happened last year. So I was doing a lot of stuff thinking about time and about history and all the kind of ways that we deal with that. So entirely at random, this came up and I had an idea for a novella. And I pitched it to a friend and they went, that's great, I think we should run this. And then we got talking about it and realized that I would have to write a novella serialized, rolling that week, basically instantly. And I'd have to deliver about 8,000 words of it a week and not do anything else. And we decided that wasn't a thing we were going to do. Firstly, because the work wouldn't be good enough. And secondly, because I'd got to try and be healthy about this shit. So the novella's parked. It's called Blueprints for Personal Flight, and it is actually going to happen at some point. If I can clear everything else this year, it's actually on deck for the end of the year, just for fun. So instead, I did these blog posts, and they were about weird history and how weird history connects to this particular moon. So it was things like, one of them was the history of compass roses, like how there is still the largest compass rose on Earth burned into the Nevada desert. I think it's Nevada. And this was literally so... It's a compass. It's like a 4,000 meter wide compass with true north, east, south, and west on it. So if you're a pilot and you don't have any instruments, you can just go, what, north's that way? Brilliant. And just aim off that. So it was stuff like that, with stuff like my favorite piece of ufology, which is the Black Knight, which is supposedly a satellite that was detected in orbit in the 1960s and over the pole when no one could get satellites at that point. And all this sort of thing. And I could have fussed around with this stuff forever. And I didn't. Gave myself half a day each time. And I could do whatever I wanted within those 3 hours. But for those 3 hours, I would write one of these blog posts. And they're a little rambly. They're not as rambly as they could have been. But because I'd set myself that imposed deadline, on the second or third one, I got pretty good at going, I'm coming up on my deadline. Let's not put the extra thing in, let's bring this into land now, and then revise it a little bit. So if you don't have deadlines, if you don't have a structure for a thing, I find it often helps to impose one yourself. Also, not to be murdered by sharks is better than being murdered by sharks. Pardon me. Pardon me again. Yeah, basically, if you can avoid the shark murders, you're already 3/4 of the way there to being successful. As you'll find out in my 20-part series coming soon. Thank you very much. Thanks, Adasa. I think the other thing kind of coded into that one is kind of ties back to the fascination window. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing something because it amuses you. There's nothing wrong with doing something for the whimsy. I'm a whimsy farmer. I do not have aura, I have whimsy. And the amount of shit I do in my career that I do because it amuses me so to do. Because if you're having fun doing it, it doesn't feel like you're working. Like a little while ago, I did a consult on a friend's game. And I snuck in a couple of puns that I never for a second thought anyone would get. And I dropped them in, and he wrote back and went, "That's awful. We're keeping it." And he, firstly, it's because very few people don't love a good dad joke, or on occasion, a terrible dad joke. And secondly, it's because it was whimsy. It was fun. I entertained myself doing it. Because I entertained myself doing it, I entertained him. And it's very strange. I'm starting to wonder whether that is something which I should be taking more seriously in the media I interact with, as well as the stuff I do. Like, there will be... I keep pronouncing bullet because of you. Have a good one, Bonsai. Thanks for stopping by. I'm watching Alien Earth at the moment, and it's fine. It's frequently very good. There are a couple of points in the episode that make me, as someone beautifully described it on Blue Sky, go, "Oh, fuck off." And I'll finish it, and, I'm not regretful of the hour I spend with it every week. But I'm also really aware of the fact that it's doing things stylistically which are really hitting for people I like and trust. Good friends of mine are watching this going, "That's fucking great," and I'm watching it going, yeah. And it's fine. It's frequently very interesting. It's taking some big swings. At no point in 6 episodes have I given a shit. And I think... Wait a second, just going to get murdered by a shark again. I think a big part of that for me is because I have a natural predilection to responding to stuff which is likable. And that sounds really fucking stupid. I need to care about a character. I need to care about a situation. If there is humor in something, and I don't mean da 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 or like Gervaisian bullshit, then I'm much more predicated to being interested. And the one thing that Alien Earth has basically none of is humor. everyone is either naive or determined or evil. And there are, I think, like I say, we're 6 episodes in. I think there have been 3 jokes, and all of them have been snippy. Now, I love a good snippy joke as much as the next Brett, but I also, variety is the spice of life, and they who control the spice control the universe. And it would be really nice if there was some variety in that. So I'm trying to stand up on it. I'm trying to stand up on the fact that I'm watching this show, which everyone's watching, and most people are really liking. And it's fine. I like my current method of writing a chapter, editing for a few hours, and then publishing it, flaws and all. There is so much to recommend that. There is so freaking much to recommend that. Just do the thing. And doing the thing is always better than thinking about doing the thing. That's a really good system. Harlan Ellison, legendary American science fiction writer and piece of shit, let's be honest. He was a deeply unpleasant dude in a lot of quite serious ways. Ellison had a party piece, which he was annoyingly very good at, which I always think about. And it was that when he did signings, he would do, if the bookshop was big enough, he would sit in the window with a chair and a desk and a typewriter. And caring about characters is a big reason I give up on things like Breaking Bad or Godfather or things in the organized crime mafia genres. Herb, that's a great point, and I'm right there with you. It's all well and good that these people are very serious and very terse and good at their jobs, or tormented and, determined to do bad things for bad reasons, but you actually have to want to spend time with them. The one that always gets me like that is The Sopranos. I have been told by people my journalistic mentor, one of the people I love more than anyone else in the world, has said The Sopranos is one of the best TV shows he's ever seen, and I don't doubt it is. But I can't spend time with those people because they suck. And oh Jesus fuck yeah! I think I've seen the first episode of Mad Men about 3 times, and every time I'm like, this is a fantastic hour of television. I want all these people dead. And then I just don't come back to it. The soundtrack's great. I've got several albums by RJD2, that artist, but God, the fucking show. I just, condemn The Office, brick it up, leave him inside. Go full Cask of Amontillado on that shit. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I have a natural fondness for Charlie Day, and even I freely admit, and because I've been rewatching it recently, the early seasons of It's Always Sunny are dog fucking rough. Ooh, that's a rough show when it first starts out. They were tremendously lucky that they hit enough of an audience and enough of a Danny DeVito to be able to keep going until they figured out what the fuck they were doing. So yeah, again, horribly long-winded answer, for which I apologize. But follow your whimsy. Whimsy's fuel. See, now is an interesting time, because I've not seen all of Ted Lasso. I've seen huge sections of it, because it's all over YouTube, but I've not seen the whole show, and I am really interested that you liked that you had that response to that. And we have Apple TV right now, so I think that's moving up the list. Thank you, Urban. Yay, near the surface where no large fish try to kill me. I like it up here. Immediately runs out near the surface. God damn it. Keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Keep swimming. Wow, you're a determined little prick, aren't you? Oh no, 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 no. Now it's on. It's on, Hammerhead, that's immediately vanished. Perhaps it's not on. You know what? It's not on. It's fine. It's fine. It's Angie. Yeah, the bits I've seen, I really love. And I mean the two things which I really responded to. I think I've seen most of season one, and none of season three, and very little of season two. The things which I really responded to were the Valentine. I think it's the Valentine's Day episode, the one with all the one that culminates with the Rolling Stones track playing and Roy returning to the stadium and putting his knee back in place. I love that so much, and. Uh, a lot of the early stuff with Ted, and I think one of the things I was a little hesitant about with the second half of it was the way that they don't so much reveal. How can I put this? They don't so much reveal that Ted sucks. They just really drill in on why he is like he is. Hey, Kareem, how's it going? And some of that hit a little close to home at the time, so I'd be curious to revisit it. There we go. Great, that's really good to hear. How was London Podcast Festival? Weren't you at the Wolf 359 reunion? Yeah, Ted does suck, but he doesn't suck to begin with. And he's trying. And I kind of respect that. Brilliant. I hope it went really well. This has been and continues to be one of those really interesting years where we're kind of getting ready to go back to more shows, and all the shows happen to be at around the same time as other stuff that we're doing. So this one landed pretty solidly. Oh, amazing! This one landed pretty solidly whilst we were, I think, in New York. There's 2 or 3 other shows which are landing when we're because we're in the US for our anniversary, and they're all then as well. So you know, there's a lot of really fun shows at the moment, and brilliant. Could you drop the link in the chat, please, Corinne? There's a lot of really fun shows at the moment, and we're like, oh, we're getting to them. We'll get to them, really. Brutally gunning down fish. But yeah, Ted Lasso is a really, really strange one. Like I say, the stuff I saw, I loved. The stuff which I didn't see, I was less sure about. And conversely, I'm really excited for the potential for the actual 4th season that's currently filming, because then I'll watch the rest of it. See, I love stuff like that. One of my favorite bits of Rogue Maker was the one-off episode we did at Podcastapalooza. For that exact reason. That's 2 sharks. That's too many sharks. Reminds me, I put together a pitch for a Rogue Maker mini episode. I'd love to write that. Podluck is a pretty great name, actually. look big and pissed off. So yeah, this all started when we were talking about whimsy and the importance of writing stuff that you want to write. And it's very important. You gotta write the stuff that you want to write, because you'll write better at it. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't, please, for the love of God, don't think I'm suggesting this for a second. You know, if you want to, you know, do the whole, but I only write things I care passionately about, that's great. And it's also very difficult. And this job is already very, very difficult. If there are things that you want to be good at and you would like to get better at, there are things that you are even remotely interested in, do those too. The worst thing that will happen is you'll have a bad time and you won't do it again. And again, that took me a really long time to figure out that that was okay. And I'm still actively working on that. I'm actively working on the whole, well, I tried that and it didn't work, but that doesn't mean that I suck. Intriguingly as well, it also often doesn't mean that it was your fault. But that's very... So I should write out pitches of scripts for all the audio dramas I have. I think it would be useful. I'm always in favor of doing that kind of thing, because if you get it out of your head, then you've done the first draft. The first draft always sucks, and the second draft is always better. I just boxed a fish. I love this game. That's exactly it. And so much of that ties back to the confidence of asking for it in the first place. You know, that shit's hard. That shit's really, really hard. And once you do this long enough, then it becomes very difficult to not acquire bad habits. You know, to not find yourself thinking, well, you know, I'm never going to do this, so why should I try? Or, well, these folks haven't hired me, so why should I try? A lot of it comes back to why should I try? And a lot of the rest of it comes back to why shouldn't I? Like, one of the things that I work very hard on a lot of the time is putting down the fact that I can't do everything and accepting that the stuff I can do, exactly, that'll be your insecurity talking, and accepting that the stuff I can do I'm good at. Kareem, you in particular will appreciate this, I suspect. I was talking a couple of years ago to a dear friend who I was working with at the time. Like, they were doing voice work. I'm finally in a job I love, but I got stuck in a job I tolerate for a decade for reasons without... Urban, I'm so glad you're in a job you love, mate. That's really cool. Kareem, I'd absolutely believe that even you get insecure in auditions, because you're amazing, and like everybody, you're also in your head, so you can never quite see it. I love writing characters who are convinced they're too far gone and are willing to do some very morally questionable stuff. Me too. If you've never seen it, there's a show called Leverage, which is about 5 criminals who team up to be better criminals than other criminals in the name of justice. It's great fun. One of the main characters in that is a former Special Forces operator called Elliot Spencer, who is one of the most interesting studies in believing someone is damned and what they do when they are I've ever seen. Like, there's a relatively early episode where oh shit, little guy's killing me. There's a relatively early episode where Leverage, where the Leverage team are involved in something quite serious, because it's a light-hearted, funny show a lot of the time, but Elliot tends to work security for them, and there's an episode where he has the line, "I appreciate the opportunity to be useful," and it just breaks your heart. There's useful stuff in working through tasks and roles which at the time may seem a pointless waste of time. I 100% agree. A lot of the work I've done has been office-based, and a lot of the work I've done has helped me tremendously with focus, and also helped me tremendously with understanding what I didn't want to do as much as what I did. Oh, fuck off. Sharks aren't being nice to me tonight at all. How we doing on the ad, Ducky? How do they get a shark head? No worries. Let's go serve some sushi, and we'll go from there.
Dish. 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 Dish.
And all the dishes are clean too. Amazing. The other thing I've been engaging with a lot, I mean a lot, is knowing when to stop. And this is a really sucky time to be talking about it because there's a tiny book which is on deadline this week, which I just finished. The day job's quite busy with writing at the moment. You were gearing up for October for Pseudopod, which is Horror Christmas, and TFL, and 2 or 3 other things. And this all really got on top of me just before we went away to New York. We had like 2 or 3 relentless weeks, and it wasn't just work. It was a lot of home stuff as well, and none of it was actively bad. It was just relentless. It was just constant. And it's taken this amount of time for me to start digging out the other side of it. And coupled with a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in therapy at the moment, I'm very focused on the times where I'm not working. Like, I finished work today at 5, and I went for a walk, and I cooked, and it was so nice. And yesterday I finished work at 11. And it ties back into the thing I was talking about of, kind of extend the grace to me that I extend to other people. And it is very easy to go, well, it's just me. No, it's never just you. You are always as important as anyone else in an equation. If you're not being a dick, if you're not being selfish, then why are you punishing yourself? Don't do that. As a Catholic for a very long time, nothing good comes of punishing yourself. Can I upgrade my sniper rifle? Apparently not. Okay, let's just buy some stuff. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Really need to work out how to up my taste. Cookster is the I can't believe it's not Instagram of the game. And every time you boost it, you get like another couple of menu ranks and some more stuff and some cash, which is always nice. Why not? Let's just go bombs. It'll be fine. The sharks have finally pushed me too far. What I want to try and do, see if there's any tuna around. If there's a tuna, shark chunks litter the blue hole. This is a weird game. It's wholesome and very violent at the same time. Twitch says ad break now for 3 minutes. Fantastic. Folks, if you haven't had a stretch yet, or if you have, then, and you want another one, then get up, go water a pet, or, feed a plant, do what you got to do, and we'll be back in a moment. If linear time is on our side, we're back. Just taking a look at the missions I gotta do. Yeah, that's right. Let's get depthy. I may be incorrectly depthy. Oh wait, there's a thing down here I need for some reason. Great. I wasn't actually coming down here to do this particular thing, but if there's a thing I need down here, sea grape, which I apparently need for a recipe. Brilliant. Good job, the ocean. Don't mind me, sir, just passing through. There we are. See? It's fine. It's fine. I haven't just butchered substantial amounts of your species. It's fine. It's all fine. Yeah, I have one of those in one of my tanks, and it's very alarming. Thank you for that. Sign to the underwater lake, because one of the kids I know, underwater lake, there's actually kind of a marine biological reason for it. One of the kids of the sea people got lost down here, and because I'm a good citizen, apparently the only competent member of 2 species, I get to be the guy that goes looking. Oh, Beans, he's fucking huge, man. Apparently this is the door to the underwater lake. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab a pickaxe from here. We cool? We cool. I should head inside and find Mara. Yes, I'm sure there won't be a boss fight in here. No, fucking hell. So they're not strictly frozen lakes, but there is, in fact, there are instances where you get basically lakes of fresh water and salt water, which I think is really cool. That's a frozen lake, alright. It does not seem to be a friendly place at all. To see a lake under the sea really is amazing. Maybe I should take a photo. Yeah, maybe you should, Dave. Let's take a wee photo. Sound perverts! Hello, sound perverts! Folks, it's just me this time, because Marguerite is in Edinburgh doing important law things, and as a result, and also because the cat had been alone for a week while we were in New York, I stayed behind to look after the cat and just be generally nice to him because he's cool. We just think he's neat. How are you all doing? We've been talking about writing and various other things. If you have any questions and it's stuff I can help with, let me know. Being a legal eagle. He's being very nice. Hi! Yeah, he's been really sweet, actually. Nice. How'd you get on, Moira? And good to meet you. Brilliant. You're about to see me get killed by a shark for like the 5th time tonight. Never good when they give you bullets. Writing's been going well. Trying my hand at many audio stories for a change. Brilliant! That's a great idea. I hope it's going well. Oh, that's not right. Alright, I guess. Okay, I guess we're fighting now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, this is Dave the Diver, which is super weird. Basically, it's a game where you play a diver who is helping out a friend of yours set up a sushi restaurant. You go and murder the fish, and then you help serve it. And then undersea archaeology happens, and then time travel happens, and dimensional travel happens, and it keeps changing genre, and suddenly you're running a farm. It's a really good time, and it's very strange, as you can probably tell. Hey! Gotcha, you wee bastard. No, I didn't. Oh, fuck. Oh, editing is awesome. Editing is one of the hardest jobs there is. You folks are actual wizards. What's your editing? Stuff you're happy talking about? No problem if not. Understand completely. I got him. Did I get him? I think I got him. Hope I got him. There's Dredge DLC for this. Okay. Just gonna cut some meat off this enormous fish, because that's not weird or upsetting at all. I totally see that. It's very cool. Phew, barely defeated it. Oh, thank you, human. Why are you in such a dangerous place? I wanted to see the underwater lake. Get a load of this kid. Anyway, let's go back to the village. Dialogue editing is rough. This is the Undersea Village, where everyone's played Balatro, much like the real world. Small indie podcast called Circes. I listen to Circes, it's great. Hey Tin Can, how you doing? So this is the Sea People village, where there are various missions you can pick up, and where since I was last here, they've added a map. This is the map. This was seriously not here the last time I played a few days ago. Oh, no problem at all, as long as you burped them. There's a question up at the temple. I might take a look at that. Sea People? Yes, I can. Great Leslie Nielsen reference, by the way. Who are you? How did you get in here? I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith. Oh, this is Dave the Diver. Well, you play a diver called Dave, and the basic loop of the game is you are recruited by your old friend Cobra, who may or may not be an arms dealer. It's been a long week. I'm so happy you got me with that one. Oh, that's made my day. Thank you for that, Moira. The new naked gun, by the way, is actually surprisingly funny. Never been in here before. Oh, human, what brings you here? The owner of the seed shop told me to borrow a book. The title was really long. I forgot it. I understand. Cation always reads strange books. Nevo, I was told that you would know which one, as it was previously borrowed. Do you remember? It's a book that Cajun borrowed. It might be one of these three. There are pictures of the divine tree on the cover, on its fruit on the cover, and he likes plants, so maybe it's this one. These are pictures of beautiful, sensuous-looking sea women on this cover. Is this it? There are pictures of zombie-like sea people and the king fighting on the cover. It looks like fun. Cool. The lightner? And the blood? That's a lightner too. Oh, the terrible bastard, man. Not playing your weird poker variant. I don't like it very much. Poker, not Balatro. Balatro is apparently delightful. So this is the magic mirror that we use to come and go from the Sea People world. It's a strange game. You might be able to tell. Alright, I'm going to do one more dive and one more cycle, which should take us through to about 10 to 11, and hopefully past the last ad break. And then, unless folks have got any other questions, we'll call it. It does it like 5 times. It's a monster fighting game. It's a farming and employment simulator. One of the mini games in your phone is rhythm game. There's a platformer in there as well. It's games inside games inside games. Balatro is in this. All of it. It's very cool. I'm having a very nice time with this. Gwent is not in this one, no. Hope I don't have the book in like a waterproof bag with me or something. That would be awkward. Yeah, give it time. Especially with Witcher 4 out in the next couple of years. I would play the crap out of that. There's more DLC on the way as well. Apparently there's Dave in the Jungle coming shortly. It's been really nice stepping across to this, having recently written the sushi book, because it's been possible to kind of get a bit more of an angle on this than I otherwise would have done, and that was really nice. Although I know for a fact I wrote about shirashi, pardon me, sushi, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is, so I gotta look into that. That's really sweet of you, thank you. You're getting us at about 50% power right now. Normally I'm here with my partner Marguerite, and on Wednesday nights at the moment we're making our way through a couple of cozy game demos. I forget which one we have up next. But we've just done Cozy Bookshop, or Tiny Bookshop, which is really, really cool. We also stream on Sundays between 10:30 and 12:30, and there we are currently doing Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2, which is an early, I believe early noughties, semi-post-apocalyptic, semi-medieval vampire platformer, and the sass is off the charts. I do not have the... I've never played it before, and the bitchy vampire dialogue is superb. Really, really good. Thank you, Ducky. Apparently we're starting Strange Antiquities this time next week, which is based on the demo. Really, really cool. So do please pop by. Whoever scripted those games is right. You tried to kill me. Well, it seems I failed. Oh God, us too. We this is in the stream archive somewhere. We just finished doing the kind of high def remaster of Soul Reaver 2, and about 90% through the game, someone popped up in the chat and went, "Oh, you're playing the remaster?" Yeah, I was the lead programmer on this. Why are you playing it on the original graphics? And we had successfully played through the entire game on the non-remastered graphics, and then with like half an hour to spare, we turned the remastered ones on, and they were so much better. Fuck it, sometimes you just gotta shoot the big shark in the face. Haha. Oh no, oh shit, my shit's all fucked up. It's oxygen, I thought it was a bullet. But wait. That's what you get for killing me like 15 times previously. You suck. Also, I'm very sorry to all the other fish I inadvertently killed. That's one of the many things hard-earned freelancer money is for. I think the last thing I spent hard-earned freelancer money on was a DVD copy of Big Night, Stanley Tucci's directorial debut. You suck, I'm going to eat you is pretty much the motto for the game. No problem, it's really nice of you to drop by, Doc. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing okay. And have a good time at LARP. Which one are you going to? Oh, fantastic job. Have a great time. I must remember to visit Newell's in-character bar. Alex has an in-character bar in Empire now. I'm Jack's total fucking lack of surprise. Oh my God. He pays Bard union rate, so he fucking should. That is enormously impressive and completely unsurprising. Live action role playing in the UK is about 3 companies, and Empire is one of them. I'm trying to remember whether Empire or Curious Pastimes is the one that one of my best friends is on the board of. But I have a lot of friends who've been in both communities. And still are, because it's a really nice time. It's something which I'm entering my triumphant 3rd decade of sidling up to. I don't camp well. That's a lie. I previously haven't... Empire LTCP and all that. There you go, thanks Doc. I previously haven't camped well, because I previously... My life in York, where a lot of folks were into LARP, was not especially pleasing. Or calm, and it was difficult to feel good about that kind of stuff. But that life has been over for a very long time now, so perhaps it's worth giving a try. I know we're certainly looking at camping at some point next year. Yeah, that seems like a good bet. I did so much Vampire LARP when I was at university, and all of it was present. That is the. I work very hard on not breaking games I'm in, or I do ever since this happened. Fucking Cam UK, my god, Camarilla UK was the live action Vampire the Masquerade, and I successfully broke that game in New York, because I was playing a virologist. I was playing I want to say a Bruja virologist. I was normally Bruja or occasionally Ventru. I like playing the motorcycle club and the vintage car owners. And I referred to Camarilla players as Camarilla survivors. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I got them too. And for some reason, this game decided that it was going to do a viral outbreak storyline on York University. And they knew full well they had a fucking virologist PC. And I've actually read books about this, so I was like, okay, here are the 4 things we need to worry about. It's probably going to be fine. And the game never ran again, because I'd done more research than the storytellers had. Which sounds very flexy, I know, and it's not meant to be. But, yeah. But fucking Cam UK was... That is the only time I've ever seen a player get physical. It was very small. It was very minor. He slapped someone he shouldn't have, but the GM did nothing about it, and they should have been bounced. And by slapped, I mean slapped on the arm. York had one failed Cam UK game about once every 2 months, and the really good ones lasted about 2 months until they collapsed before the next one showed up. No problem. So we got an ad break in about 4 minutes. It's 11:15 now. So what I'm going to do is play through. We'll do the ad break. I will sign off from Mr. Dave in the ad break, and or we'll play through. We'll do the ad break, and I'll close it down for the night. I talk good. I'm a professional talk gooder. You might be able to tell. It does. It is a little bit like, so we're going to do an exciting detective story. Yeah, we're all playing cops. Really? Yeah. How's that going to work out? Well, we've never read or seen anything to do with police officers, so I'm sure it will be fine. Yeah, about that. I swear, if this little asshole, he's going to fucking kill me. I am going to be drowned by sharks 3 fucking times in a night in this game. Unbelievable. No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Yes! Oh god, I think it's cucumber night. I hope I remember to pick cucumbers. That's slightly upsetting, fireworks. They're always slightly upsetting, fireworks. I did. Let's go harvest some cucumbers. I've got about 2 minutes, right, Ducky? Alright, that's my food harvested. Let's go see my fishies, and that should take us to the outbreak. The really alarming thing about the fish farm, as you'll see, is that there are 9, and I only have fish access from 2 so far. Look at that enormous bastard. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's us at ad break, folks. So one more time, you want to take a stretch? I'll see you back here in 3 minutes. Alright, if I've done my math right, we're back. Let's go deliver a book to a weird old man who has vegetables for us. How about that? Yay! Perfect timing. Thanks, Ducky. Oh shit, yeah, it's not him, it's the fish farm dude. Fish farm dude. I have your book for you, which there's a 30% chance it's actually your book. No, it's also not the fish farm dude. Okay. Maybe it's not triggered yet. We'll just go do sushi. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Dish.
Oh, cool. I do not have any cucumbers, I'm pretty sure. So, well, I certainly don't have any recipes for it. So there we go. Party menu. Thank you. Sweet. All right, let's serve some people some stuff. Nope, we have no cucumbers today, it would seem. That's alright. I'm really happy that happened. Well done. By the way, nothing especially bad happens if you fail the party. You just don't make lots of cash. It's alright. There we go. Not the most profitable night, but it is what it is. You're a big part of that, Ducky. Thank you. All right. I think that's a really good place to stop. Well, let's talk briefly about what the rest of the week's going to look like for us. The Full Lid, the weekly pop culture newsletter that Marguerite and I do, will go live on Friday. This week, we're looking at my favorite movie of the year so far, and also some cool photos from New York and a really good play out. Then on Sunday, we're back at 10:30 to 12:30 with just the sassiest vampires you've ever seen. They're a really, really fun time. I'm really enjoying doing that. And then we'll be back here next Wednesday where we'll be kicking off on Strange Antiquities, and that will be 9 till 11 on Wednesday night. You'll get both of us and video and everything. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been really nice. I'm always a little kind of hinky about whether I should do these, but I've had a really good time. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to all the raiders for stopping by. I hope you folks enjoyed it, and you are always welcome back. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Is 10:30 to 12:30 this time zone or a different one? Sorry, I should have been clearer. Yes, it's going to be 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Sunday morning, and then 9 till 11 p.m. Wednesday, and that's in. I think we're still just about in BST, so it's BST or GMT. I think, yeah, let's say BST. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. I've been Alistair. Tori has been asleep in the corner, and this has been a really good time. I'll see you next time.